Mute button on the microphone. Because I am smart. I went to college. I went into college for almost 6 years. And here we are. I'm a doofus. How are you? Oh, welcome to the show. We have one weekend before the Sherwood Celtic Festival. Can't start, nope. Can't start. You know, it is, honestly, it's not a Troubadork show without some kind of doofy technical issue. I think that's going to be the technical issue for today. I'm kind of hoping anyway. Hey, good evening, Teppo. Or if Teppo is still our man in Finland, it is in fact Morrow. He is ahead of us. Those clever Finns. Yeah. So, title. Sherwood Celtic Festival will be happening next Saturday, and I will be performing. And in another year or two, I think we might actually be able to get their social media people to use the promo stuff I sent them instead of having scraped my website from several years ago. At least they're using the picture I sent them at this point. Sherwood Celtic Festival, I'll be doing 3 shows and possibly crashing the pub sing depending on how I'm feeling at that point in the day. It's going to be interesting because it'll be the first time out on the site with my new knees, which is always a good thing. Yep, Amy's not going. Amy's going to stay home and enjoy a surprisingly quiet house. That is the plan. She loves me. She sends me off to the wars. And when I come home, we count the money. Now, I will also note that, theoretically, sometime in the next few months, we might actually see the video that they shot of me performing Troubadork at Sherwood Forest Fair this year, when I had my little portable, all the stuff in a basket kit. So I don't have a microphone right in front of my face all the time. I'm going to be using that little portable basket kit at Celtic as well. Same stage. I'll just be flanked on all sides by amplification, so I'm just going to use enough amplification to reinforce my own damn noise. And we'll see how it goes. So today's theme is songs to get thrown out of a Celtic Fest by. Because last Saturday, a thing happened in my head. And I decided to commit it to paper. And I decided to commit it to words. And in doing so, I realized that I had another song that I could sing at that Sherwood Celtic Festival that actually fit the Celtic theme of the show. Monet, Monet. And of course, it being a Tobias song, it gives the subject matter all of the respect that it so richly deserves. And I will be doing that one as the opening tune. We'll actually be doing all the songs that I'm going to do here today are going to be ones that I'm likely to play. I only have 3 shows, so kind of pack them in. The first show is definitely a half-hour show. The second show could toddle around 40 minutes, as could the third show. We'll see how it goes, how many people are there, and how much motivation I have. Speaking of motivation, caffeine. Because caffeine gives us motivation. Liquid ambition, as immortalized in the song Kaiju Coffee, which I wrote a couple of years ago now. It's really weird to reflect on the fact that I actually wrote that song 2, maybe 3 years ago at this point. So anyway, why don't we just get on with the dang show, shall we? The first song I'm going to be playing is started out as a sentiment, and it just became, well, you'll see. As I was walking on Kilkenny Mountain, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. First they drew me pistol and then produced me rapier, saying, "Give me all your gold, 'cause I'm a big golden retriever." With a boom shakalaka like a boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. I warned you, it was many years ago when I first heard this song performed. But somewhere in my memories the lyrics got distorted. It lasts for half an hour, but it never seems to bore us, 'cause no one's listening to the words, we're waiting on the chorus. With a boom shakalaka like a boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. I never think I have the time to give the song its glory, 'cause it takes a half a week to tell a standard Irish story. You'd think we'd all be over it, and yet the laddies bring it. You gotta be drunk to write a song like this, and drunker still to sing it. With a boom shakalaka like a boom shakalaka. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. With a boom shakalaka like a boom shakalaka like a boom shakalaka like a boom shakalaka like a. Sorry, got distracted. I don't know all the words. I don't know all the words to Whiskey in the Jar. I always feel like I'm getting away with something when I do a song like that. My initial goal is to get at least one spit take per show. Because I don't tell people when I'm doing the show, they don't have the convenient title bar over the song, over the screen to tell you what it is I'm about to do. And so it's very much like when I do Renaissance Minstrel, Minstrel, Minstrel. Anyway, I actually got spit takes from people 2 booths over and across the way when I did that at Sherwood. Some folks from Dance Macabre, and if you are of the California Renaissance Festival or know people from the California Renaissance Festival strain, yeah, it was very funny. It was very amusing. I was very honored by when he said, "I will never listen to that song, the regular song again, ever the same way." Also, Trebuchet. So yes, that is my goal. My goal is to make songs up that will probably get me thrown out of the show. Not really, but it's that nice little kind of skirting the boundaries of what is actually acceptable. Although, honestly, with the Celtic fairs these days, there's an awful lot of highly amplified Celt rock. I don't have a problem with Celt rock. I play this. There's an amplitude level issue. So that's why I now have an amplifier. I have a bigger basket now. I have a little hand basket. I have a slightly bigger one now that fits everything except this into it, including a folding stool. So I don't even have to worry about taking a bench with me if I need to. So that's cool. Thank you guys for the review. I appreciate it. That's the first time I've actually done it in front of live human beings. Thank you for being my live human beings. And I hope to do that a few times. I also have a similar verse. Let me see if I can bring it up here since we're just kind of doing it a little bit, and then we'll hop into the next song. Where is it? It is... Oh, no, it's not in there. Oh, there it is. Yes. Let me see if I can I'm gonna pull this out here. When I had first declared I'd do a singing show, music I prepared, don't think I was slow. What you gonna play? I told them all of my songs, where those things are okay. But follow along, long. If you play out of fair songs, you must prepare, 'cause people will declare, oh, we all want the older ones. Well, what should I do? The songs I should pursue. Some idiot told me true. Sing the rocky road to Dublin. Why's the song so long? And anyway. Yes, we have a collection of baskets, as Rob knows. Highly trained attack bard. Alright, so the next song that's actually on the list is one I did last week, and I've decided to just make it Irish. And it's very easy to make the song Irish. One, it's got a very Irish sentiment to it. And B, I just have to change one word, and then we're in good shape. Now, if I take this to a Renaissance or medieval festival, then I have to change a couple of other words as well. But in this case, I only have to change the one word, because the song... I really am here for, Katsurita, I'm really here for trolling for eyeballs. I'm looking for the double takes and the spit takes. And that's always so much fun. Well, Chris, shocking enough, there's a lot of whiskey in a lot of these songs. This one, however, is actually a vaudeville song from the early 1900s, I believe. It's entirely in the public domain. And I originally heard it on The Muppet Show, and my friend Kay reminded me of it. So we're going to do Tomorrow. But Irish. I started on a journey about a year ago to a little town called Morrow in the county of Sligo. I'd never been much of a traveller, and I really didn't know that Morrow was the hardest place I'd ever try to go. So I went down to the station for my ticket and applied for tips regarding Morrow, not expecting to be guided. Says I, my friend, I'd like to go tomorrow and return no later than tomorrow, for I haven't time to burn. Says he to me, now let me see if I have heard you right. You'd like to go tomorrow and return tomorrow night. You should have gone tomorrow yesterday and back today, for the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. If you had gone tomorrow yesterday, now don't you see, you could have gone tomorrow and returned today at 3 for the train today. Tomorrow, if the schedule is right, today it goes tomorrow and returns tomorrow night. Says I, my friend, it seems to me you're talking through your hat. There is a town named Morrow on the line, now tell me that. There is, says he, but take from me a quiet little tip. For to go from here tomorrow is a 14-hour trip. The train today tomorrow leaves today at 8:05. At 10:30 tomorrow is the time it should arrive. So if from here tomorrow is a 14-hour jump, can you go today tomorrow and get back today, you chump? Says I, I'd like to go tomorrow, but can I go today? And return by tomorrow night if there is no delay. Well, says he to me, and I got nothing more to say. Can't get anywhere tomorrow and get back again today. Says I guess you know it all, but kindly let me say, how can I get tomorrow if I leave this town today? Says he, you cannot go tomorrow anymore today, 'cause the train that goes tomorrow is a mile upon its way. I was so disappointed, I was mad enough to swear. The train had gone tomorrow and had left me standing there. That man was right in telling me I was a howling jay. For I cannot go tomorrow, so I guess in town I'll stay. I do like me that song. Oh! I actually thought for a moment you were going to do the classic. Yeah, I should have known better. You know, so many people do these traditional songs, and they're wonderful traditional songs, but they're traditional songs. And my unique selling pitch is these are the songs of my people, geeks, nerds, and goofballs. And that is why I do these things a little differently. And shockingly enough, they still let me get away with it. And that always amazes me. It amazes me so bloody much. So I'll do another live stream on Friday next week, assuming that I'm not a complete gibbering wreck getting ready for Sherwood Celtic. Although Sherwood Celtic has tended to be a fairly laid-back and relaxed gig. Now that I know how to get there, and now I know how to find parking, that is important. It's fairly easy for me to find a way to get there and to park and to schlep my stuff, which is actually fairly portable. And they are very good about providing us with water and beverages. Although I have a tendency to do RC Cola out there. And I like Diet Right, which is a Diet RC Cola. Those of you who have never known that. But this thing right here in the silver label, which I am not being paid to endorse, and therefore I'm not going to say what brand it is. This is my general drink. When it comes to caffeine, it has been a heck of a week. August just seems to have just gone by. Well, thank you, Richard. I've been messing with this now for about 5 years, and I think I'm beginning to approach competency. I will probably, I don't think it's going to rain, so I probably will not bring the otter out. I will actually take out the newest acquisition, which is a lovely Celtic unit, which has its own preamp in it, which means there's a chance in hell that I'll be able to put it in, patch it into any system and have it actually work. My little wireless system, I have to crank it all the way up to like the loudest possible, and it's probably because it goes in. I cannot remember, and my sound tech stuff is way off. I cannot remember if it is line level or mic level, which is the lower of the two. But it goes into the lower of the two, whichever one that is. Also, you know, my little wireless kit is like that big, and the little transmitter is that big, so anything I can get away with. So, speaking of songs to get you thrown out of a Celtic festival, some of you have heard this song. This is an original tune that was inspired by my friend Shadow of Shadow and Liz at Carpe Diem Comics, your official emotional support comic shop of the Troubadork show, located in historic downtown McKinney, Texas. They have been doing all kinds of good, and they are wonderful people, and if you were ever up in that neck of the woods, do stop by, because they are an excellent local comic shop, and I heartily endorse them. You see, he was presiding over a Boy Scout Scottish Games event. And, of course, one of the events in the Scottish Games is the caber toss. Shockingly enough, they frown upon it, you handing some person under 18 years old a phone pole to throw. They don't like that. They think that is unsafe. So what they did is they made a safety caber. Or as he put it, 6 pool noodles in a trench coat. An ongoing, recurring theme in my life, apparently. 6 somethings in a trench coat. And he was asked to provide the safety briefing for the caber toss. And the safety briefing talks about technique. It talks about, how you throw it, how you approach the throw, how you throw it. And one of the things, and it always ends with the following phrase: the caber always wins. And this is a reminder that no matter how strong you are, no matter how tough you are, no matter how good you are at flinging objects, if it comes down to an argument between yourself and the phone pole has the laws of physics on its side. and therefore the caber always wins. So, let's make sure this is relatively in tune. Sometimes this thing actually gets, instead of going flat, it goes sharp after I've beaten on the strings for one. Like, can only assume there's some kind of material science explanation for that. Or it's trying to get away from me. There we go. You brought her, you caber. Caber, I can barely see her. Those who, me and Rob and Chris have about 400 jokes that involve the last two the letters ER, including, and I will say it in honor of one of the finest human beings and greatest storytellers I have ever met, Mr. Jack Morgan himself, Dave Ponke. Gladiator! To which he would always say with a robust voice, "You bet he was!" Because it's that kind of group. So, this is the caber always wins. It is Celtic, so it's played in D. And it's actually sung drunken, hungover, and slightly strangled. This is what we would call a necktie tenor song, because it sounds like the tenor is being strangled by his own neckwear. Of me sins, but remember this, me darling one, the caber always wins. The caber always wins. A game of strength and accuracy, that's how this match begins. When you fling it, me lad, get out the way, the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. Bridge! Oh, the caber does not care as it goes flying through the air. You know, it will not bend nor break, but it could drive you like a stake into the ground. Me darling, I learned it all the hard way, lad. Please take a tip from me. When I started, I was 6'4", and now I'm 5'3". Oh, and now I'm 5'3". Oh, the caber does not care as it goes flying through the air. Oh, it will not bend nor break, but it could crush you like a stake. Run or on the highway, me darling, drag me from the heathen games, absolve me of me sins. But remember this, me darling one, the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. Yes, the caber always wins. Oh, the caber always wins. And then I get to look back over here. Yes, caber 6 entrenching tools. 30 D&D. Yeah, 3.0 D&D had damage rules for caber. Wow, I could believe that. Dungeons and Dragons is a game in which people spend a lot of time discussing what kind of damage you could do with anything, honestly. Also, original AD&D, if you parried something, you just parried it. Just parry. Parry, 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 parry. Oh, parry, parry, parry. Parry, parry, parry. Kyle Perry, Luke Perry. Anyway. This has been a very silly show, which is exactly what I think I needed. And I'm hoping it was something that you needed as well. So that is one brand new song. One song I've been working on. One song that I've been workshopping. Some of you may have heard some of the boating accidents that came from earlier versions of the Caber Always Wins. And I think I'm almost there with that one. Writing folk songs is often easier because all the hard work of putting the notes together has been done for you, and then you just have to spackle in words to fill in the gaps. The last song that I'm going to do today, so it's time for that moment you've all been waiting for. That's right. The last thing, okay, Lord Perry. The last song in my set for this show is one that I wrote about a year and a half ago because I've been fighting this. And speaking of Celtic festivals and Gaelic and Irish and Scots and all that nonsense, I've been fighting this title for many, many years. Some of you know, it's a 4-letter Anglo-Saxon word. Starts with a B, ends with a D, and you can say in front of your grandma, Bard. Now, I know bards. I know several. I know a surprising number of bards per capita than many people, and they are all very creative, and they're very, they're very, very creative and intelligent, and they're cool people, and they tell stories, and they sing songs. And I realized that I've been singing songs and telling stories, and people have been calling me a bard for about 3 years, and I'm just about settled into being comfortable. Wow, it tried to run away. It did try to run away from me on that song. Been comfortable with the idea of letting other people call me it, but I will never call myself that. I am the Troubadork because I do not have, I feel, the appropriate gravitas. Now then, also, I've also seen clips from the Dungeons and Dragons movie. And okay, gravitas, bard, the two are not words you see a lot in the same sentence. So this last song is also the finale for my show when I do a live show, because people have a tendency to clap along and it makes me feel happy. But it is, of course, Song of the Bard, but spelled a little different. Some people say since I write some songs, I might just be a bard. But writing songs is really fun, it's really not that hard. I call myself the Troubadork, that B word has me jarred. Because while I am not a bard, I've frequently been barred. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. Hootenannies will not have me, nor will any open mic. I can play whatever song I please, but nowhere that I like. People want me to pay for my sins, but music should be free. And while I can play wherever I please, no place is pleased with me. And after I play what I played to start this show, we'll see if I get called back to do Celtic Festival again, shall we? I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. I may be a humble poetaster, a poet not so good. I just want my songs to come out right like any sane man would. But the people, when they hear my songs, react with low regard, just because they say my music left them emotionally scarred. Well, in the words of the poet, prophet, and philosopher, Jerry Garcia, you can't please everyone. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. So my friends, you now all know my tale, take pity on my plight. So I just want to play our stuff and pray it comes out right. If you see your humble Troubadork, please do not run away, as I stagger through this world searching for somewhere I can play. Like a tavern, or an alehouse, or a forest in the piney woods of McDade, Texas, which is where I'll be next Saturday. Boy, howdy, I hope to be outnumbered by my audience. I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, been all but feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, oh yeah! I've been barred from ships and taverns, I've been barred from pubs and clubs, I've been barred from village fairs, they even took my ticket stubs. I've been barred from local jam sessions, and I've been feathered and tarred, and to make the matters worse, from all the bars, I have been barred. And so we come once again with all the excitement, enthusiasm, and accuracy of a hyperactive golden retriever puppy sliding across the freshly waxed kitchen floor, heading directly to the extremely expensive china cabinet that is the end of yet another Tobias the Adequate Troubadork non-commute show. Show 308! What am I thinking? Thank you for hanging out with me. Without you here, this would be way harder to justify. I know it's going to be, I'm not sure what the temperature's actually going to be next Saturday. It's going to be, the good news is that we are in shade. Lots of shade. And I am a fairly low impact show. The music show is significantly more relaxing to do than the magic show. And if you've ever seen my magic show, you understand. An orc built for charisma. I kind of like the idea. There was a guy who actually made an orc ninja, very low dexterity but a very high charisma. And so when he would be sneaking, it's like someone's like, the guard hears something. The orc would just grab the guy and say, "You don't see grog," and he's like, "I don't see a thing." So there's more than one mode of stealth. So we'll see how it goes. It'll be in the piney woods. It'll be in the shade. And there will be plenty of beverages. And if you can make it out there, great. And if you can't make it out there, don't panic. I will be back again. This show, of course, will go up on the YouTube playlist for Troubadork. One of these days, I will figure out how to make some of this actually appear on the Troubadork.com website. We'll get there eventually. I'm fairly certain. Of course, WeAdequate.com is for all the adequacy needs. I'm beginning to do a little bit more magic, but indoors, where there's climate control. And that's nice. I do want to shout out to my Patreon peeps who help support adequacy in our lifetime, and you can too. That would be Tim K, Jen, Joe Austin, Chris Teppo, Isaac, Jasper, Linda, and Rob. Steve, I'm pasting it to the scroll. BK, Richard. Hi, Richard. I'm so glad you made it. Brian and Laureen. Whew. Without y'all, this would just be one man yammering into the internet, which is what I do a lot of the time. So you can find me at The Adequate on Facebook, at The Adequate on, I'm going to call it Twitter, okay? I don't care what he's calling it. I am also at The Adequate on Threads. And I am now also at The Adequate on Blue Sky. I got a Blue Sky invite. Yes, I did. And I'm abusing it. I am Tobias the Adequate on Instagram, where I don't do a whole lot of stuff, and Tobias the Adequate on TikTok, where I do short little things. Of course, you can always find me on the interwebs. You can find me all over the place. I am ubiquitous. My branding is pretty dang strong. PayPal is paypal.me/theadequate. Venmo is @theadequate. Cash App is $theadequate. I'm amazed nobody else picked these things up. And some of the stuff I've had for many years, which is surprising. I think that's about everything. Oh, yeah. You saw the stuff in the promotional stuff in the notes that you'll see either there or there, sometimes there, depending on where they put the stuff. And I think that, my friends, VR setup. I like that idea. That, my friends, is enough out of me for another week. So be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be kind. Be safe. Be silly. Fight fire with marshmallows. Confuses our enemies. Gives you an easy snack for quick energy. And if you really need to, you can throw a burning marshmallow at somebody and those things stick like napalm. Treat people like people. Don't treat people like things. Human rights are not pie. Just because somebody gets more doesn't mean you don't have as much. Of course, trans rights are human rights. Trans kids, we protect them with our lives. And sometimes the lives of others, because we can hold them up as human shields. Because we are large and crazy. I think that's about it. I think that covers just about everything. You folks have been wonderful. Thank you so much for talking to me. Because if you talk to me, I talk back. And that's one of the joys of live entertainment, is to get that kind of feedback. Even if there is like a 30 seconds to 2-minute delay because things. That's okay, Teppo. Tell you what, if you slap it up on the Facebook post for this stream on the Tobias page, then we can see it there. That can always work. Don't treat people like this. Do not treat people like napalm. Do not set fire to people. It is generally a bad idea. And on that safety note, y'all have been fantastic. I have been Tobias the Adequate, and I thank you once again for encouraging my behavior. I'll see y'all next